Today's episode is brought to you by our lead sponsor, Crew.
Today, we're talking about the UCLA's campus protests, why abortion is back in the political spotlight, the Federal Reserve keeping interest rates steady, cities that are trying to become less appealing, and other top news for Friday, May 3rd. Stay informed while remaining focused on Christ with the pour-over today. Here's the quote of the day. No individual has any right to come into the world or go out of it without leaving behind him distinct and legitimate reasons for having passed through it. George Washington Carver. Let's get started with some espresso shots. Campus protests are only escalating as the semester winds down. Monday night, mass counter-protesters surrounded UCLA's encampment, throwing fireworks and attacking pro-Palestinian protesters. Classes were canceled, and an investigation is underway. Tuesday night, police breached Columbia University's Hamilton Hall, which students had vandalized and blockaded nearly 20 hours prior, and arrested over 100 protesters. Mayor Eric Adams warned that professional outside agitators are co-opting what should be a peaceful gathering. He encouraged parents to get involved before the situation escalates. In response, the House passed the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act 320-91 on Wednesday. The bill requires the Education Department to enforce anti-discrimination laws according to a broader anti-Semitism definition that includes calling for the harming of Jews and harassing individuals over Israel's actions. The bill's future in the Senate is unclear. On campus, across the world, or in the living room, Christians conquer evil and injustice with good. The Lord's radical command is to respond to toxic speech with kind words, to disrespect with compassion and care, and to bullying with honor. The light exposes the darkness for what it is, and Jesus promises the light will win in the end. 1 Peter 3:8 and 9 says, "Finally, all of you be like-minded and sympathetic. Love one another and be compassionate and humble, not paying back evil for evil or insult for insult, but, on the contrary, give a blessing, since you were called for this, so that you may inherit a blessing." Abortion is back in the political spotlight. Two Arizona state Republican lawmakers joined all their Democratic colleagues to repeal a near-total abortion ban, all stages of pregnancy, from 1864. A 15-week abortion ban, passed in 2022, became Arizona's prevailing law when Governor Katie Hobbs signed the repeal yesterday. Meanwhile, Florida moved in the opposite direction. On Wednesday, the state's 15-week abortion ban was replaced by a 6-week ban. The battles aren't over. This November, at least 3 states, including Florida, and possibly 8 more, including Arizona, will have abortion measures on the ballot. Each referendum is different, but many propose a constitutional amendment enshrining abortion access until fetal viability, around 24 weeks. We are called to love everyone always. That means loving and caring for the unborn, single mothers, women who have received abortions, and people who passionately disagree with you on this topic. 1 Corinthians 13:4-6 says, "Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, is not boastful, is not arrogant, is not rude, is not self-seeking, is not irritable, and does not keep a record of wrongs. Love finds no joy in unrighteousness, but rejoices in truth." The central bank is unimpressed by inflation's lack of further progress. As expected, the Federal Reserve kept interest rates steady on Wednesday at a 23-year high for the 6th straight meeting. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell indicated recent inflation data shows it will take longer than previously expected to consider cutting rates, but settled investors' queasy stomachs by saying a rate hike is unlikely. The stock market rallied on that news, a remarkable shift considering investors started this year hoping for as many as 6 rate cuts. Now most expect just 1. Meanwhile, consumer confidence dropped to a 21-month low, dragged down by the cost of food and gas, and fears of a worsening job market. The number of job openings has declined over recent months but remains well above pre-pandemic numbers. Here's a verse to consider whether your portfolio is experiencing hockey stick growth or not. I know how to make do with little, and I know how to make do with a lot. In any and all circumstances, I have learned the secret of being content, whether well-fed or hungry, whether in abundance or in need. Philippians 4:12.
With over 1,000 translations and every type of decorative edition, it's easy to forget how many people can't even get their hands on a single copy of the Bible in their native language. This is why we've partnered with Cru. Cru has missionaries in almost every country, but they need more Bibles. One missionary said, "I have never seen such a thirst for the Word of God in my country. Let's quench that thirst." For just $24 a month, you can provide 3 people with Bibles every month. As a bonus, Cru will provide meals to 12 hungry individuals through their humanitarian ministry and send you a free TPO coffee mug. Simply text TPO to 71326 or visit give.cru.org/TPO. Again, that's texting TPO to 71326 or give.cru.org/TPO. Message and data rates may apply. Available to U.S. addresses only.
In other brews, here's a rapid round of updates. The United Methodist Church repealed its ban on LGBTQ clergy Wednesday. Delegates at the denomination's General Conference decisively voted 692 to 51 to remove a rule forbidding practicing homosexuals from being ordained or appointed and pass a measure prohibiting punishment for performing or refusing to perform same-sex marriages. Since 2019, over 7,600 Methodist congregations have disaffiliated over LGBTQ issues. Please, don't come back. Popular destinations grappling with over-tourism are taking steps to become less appealing. Venice just became the first city in the world to charge an entry fee. The Japanese town of Fujikawaguchiko is erecting a screen to block views of Mount Fuji, and Barcelona removed a popular bus route from online apps to hide it from visitors. In St. Louis, Missouri, the wheels on the bus aren't going round and round. The St. Louis Public Schools District is offering to pay families to drive their kids to school after the district's bus vendor faced service-disrupting walkouts over hate crime allegations. Rising tensions have the district looking for new options all through the town. Half of a Texas dairy farm's cats died after exposure to bird flu in raw milk. The current avian flu outbreak is the worst in U.S. history among birds, and has infected 0.1% of cattle herds. While the findings raise concerns about mammal-to-mammal transmission, health agencies reiterate that human infection is unlikely and pasture-raised milk is safe. Ryan Garcia's left hook may have had a little extra juice. The boxer tested positive for the PED ostarine, a drug that can stimulate muscle growth, the day before and the day of his high-profile win against opponent Devin Haney last month. Garcia has 10 days to request his backup sample be tested. If positive, the win stands to be overturned. And that's all we have for today. Thanks so much for listening. If you're listening on the Apple Podcast app, give us a 5-star rating and drop a review. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow and hit the notification bell to never miss a new episode. We appreciate your support and hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.